One of my earliest food memories is going to the local suburban Chinese restaurant and ordering banana fritters and toffee lychees for dessert. While in MasterChef All-Stars, I had a chance to recreate this food memory in a Chinese cooking challenge against the legendary Po and Marion, where I made Lychee Toffee pops. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can make them. The first thing I'm going to do is make the batter for the lychee fritters. So I have 200 grams of self-raising flour. I'm going to add 300 mils of sparkling mineral water, and I'm not going to overwork the flour because we want the batter to be nice and light and crisp. It's really important to keep the batter cold, so I'm going to add some ice cubes in here as well. I'm just going to set this aside for 5 or 10 minutes just to let the batter relax, and then we're going to dip in the lychees and deep fry. I just love the sweetness of lychees, but it's pretty hard to get them fresh in Melbourne. So I'm using canned lychees, which is absolutely fine for this recipe. So what I'm going to do is make a little lychee fritter by dropping them into the batter. I'm just going to test this oil. I want it to be at 180 to 190 degrees to deep fry. So I'm using a thermometer, but you can either use a wooden chopstick or a piece of bread, and if it bubbles quickly, then it's ready. It looks like it's good to go. I'm just using a fork to help me place the lychee in the oil. You don't want to take these out until the lychees are nice and golden all over. These are looking pretty good, so I'll set them aside. Now that we have our lychee fritters done, it's time to put our toffee on. So I'm going to make a caramel by adding 1 cup of sugar into a clean saucepan and half a cup of water. Just going to give that a tiny little stir. The best thing you can do when you're making caramel or toffee is to just leave it. Don't shake the pan around because it will mean that sugar will crystallize on the side and it could affect the caramel. It won't work. So I just always just leave it and let the water reduce and the toffee will come. While the toffee's reducing, I'm going to get my lychee fritters on my chopsticks. Now I should have warned you that this is a little bit of an unusual dessert. So I have my lychee fritters and I'm going to pop these on a chopstick, so they're like a kind of lollipop. But some of these have a bit of a weird shape, so I'm just going to trim them off, and that's okay if there's little bits sticking off. And now we're going to insert the chopstick into the lychee fritter. I'm just going to set them aside here. Be careful when you're putting the chopstick in because you don't want it to poke through the other side. So just be gentle. Once the caramel is ready, I'm going to garnish the lychee toffee pops with some white sesame seeds and also some lime zest. So I've got my trusty microplane. I'm just going to get some of that zest off the lime. This works really well in the dessert because the caramel is so sweet, but this is nice and sour, so it balances it out a little bit. Better go and check on that caramel. You can see that the toffee is getting really nice and thick and syrupy, and it's starting to brown on the edges. So at this point, we can actually pick it up and just give it a little swish around, and that's pretty much ready to go. You can see how the caramel is a beautiful dark golden color, which is what we want. Now, pick up one of your lychee fritters, and you can either try and swirl it, which is a bit difficult, or you can use a spoon to help spoon over the toffee. Now the toffee is going to harden quite quickly, so you have to move fast. So after that, we're going to sprinkle it with some sesame seeds and some lime zest. Now kids, be very careful if you're doing this. Make sure there's a parent there to help you because this sugar is hot and I've just like semi-burnt myself. So just be really careful. I was always pretty good at making a mess in the MasterChef kitchen, and looks like I'm doing the same here today, my own. I learnt this little trick off MasterChef with the leftover toffee, using the back of 2 forks. You dip in the toffee and spinning the sugar. And you sort of need a wrist action. Still not very good at it. Alrighty, and then you sort of pick it up to put on the balls. Well, there you have it, my lychee toffee pops. My take on banana fritters and toffee lychees from my Chinese suburban restaurant. And if it was good enough for Matt Preston, well, they'll be good enough for me. They're a lot of fun. Yummy.